New developments involving the investigation of a Manatee County school administrator.
Plus, the State College of Florida making changes to its dual enrollment program for Sarasota and Manatee County high schools, how those changes will impact hundreds of local students.
And the Northport man accused of shooting and killing his neighbor in court today. We'll hear from the victim's daughter. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. In the middle of an active investigation, a Manatee County administrator abruptly announces his retirement. Deputy Superintendent Ron Serrano will retire from the district in December, which could end up being right in the middle of this still active investigation. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live tonight from district headquarters. Now, Jess, what do we know so far?
Ron Serrano has only been with Manatee County School District for a little longer than 2 years, but according to the school board agenda that's set for next week, he will retire in December. Serrano has been on administrative leave since August 6th because of concerns about payments and implementation of what the district calls the Enterprise Resource Planning System. Serrano was in charge of that program. According to school board chair Scott Hopes, the state auditor general is reviewing the case, noting it's hard to know whether or not the investigation will even wrap up before Serrano retires. Hopes said he was not shocked by Serrano's decision and in fact expected it.
He is at retirement eligibility with the state retirement system, and obviously with being on leave during an OPS investigation and the Auditor General looking into areas which were under his management, that I suspect he made a conscious decision to just take advantage of his retirement opportunities.
Since Serrano has been on administrative leave, he's not here at district headquarters, so we were not able to speak with him directly about his decision. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. Starting next year, students taking SCF courses through dual enrollment will not be able to take those classes at their high school. Students will still be able to get college credit, but they'll have to take the classes online or at one of FCF's 3 campuses. State College of Florida officials say its District Board of Trustees approved the change last week after learning there were inconsistencies when classes were taught off-site. But Manatee School Board Chairman says he was unaware of any issues.
If there were issues regarding, let's just say, how students were being graded, if they had recognized any disparities in that, the appropriate approach would have been to bring it to the school district's attention.
We asked SCF officials if this decision was financially based, and they say it was strictly about those inconsistencies, blaming faculty oversight and the courses not meeting SCF standards.
Sarasota County schools getting recognition from the Florida Department of Education today. 18 schools in Sarasota County received the 5-Star School Award. 41 schools got the Golden School Award for this school year. Both awards are given to schools that show in-depth community involvement and volunteering. All of those schools that received recognition this year have previous history of getting these awards, some for more than 30 years. Pretty impressive.
That is nice. I'd give our weather 4 stars today just because it was a little too hot for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. There was a little bit of a nice breeze, though, early this morning.
The mornings are nice. Yeah. I'll give them that. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, the mornings have been really quite comfortable out there. Yeah, 4 is not bad, and especially when you think about the red tide issues we've been experiencing on the beaches. Folks enjoying it here. Holmes Beach webcam showing some folks occasionally getting out in the water there, and some umbrellas, beach umbrellas up now and again. So people getting back to enjoying what we have all come down here for, and getting set up now for the nice sunset to occur here in just a short period of time. We have an east wind, and a few isolated showers are possible, but they're very isolated and they're very weak. You'll notice these were kind of starting to develop, and then tapped into that drier air pushing to the southwest. 1 or 2 lone showers up near Hillsborough and Polk County heading to the southwest. So all in all, your evening looks good. If you're going to be checking out the sunset, you should not be bothered by much. The isolated shower possible, but that'll be about it. East wind at 10, but look at that dew point down in the 60s. That's always a good sign. It's going to be a quite comfortable evening tonight and a nice start to tomorrow. That east wind continues, so that's good news too. It's not going away anytime soon. but neither is the heat. We'll have more on that coming up, and a look at the tropical disturbance down to our south in the Caribbean coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A judge reduces the bond for a Northport man accused of shooting and killing his neighbor last month. John Krug Jr. is charged with the murder of Carl Berryman. This is surveillance video shown in court today. You can see their initial confrontation before Berryman starts to walk away. We stopped the video then in the moment right before the shooting. One of Berryman's daughters stayed in the courtroom while they showed that footage.
And he did exactly what I thought he would. Stared at it with no remorse and no regret. And as soon as he saw everybody else's reaction, that's when he felt like, oh, what did I do?
John Krug Jr.'s attorney asked for his bond to be lowered, and a judge agreed. Krug's bond reduced by half to $100,000. If he's able to raise the bond, he will have to stay away from the neighborhood where the shooting happened and surrender his passport.
New at 6, a big win in the fight against opioid addiction. Today, the U.S. Senate passing Congressman Vern Buchanan's opioid bill. That proposal would create a national database for patients. The guide would link people with healthcare providers and would also give them access to federal opioid prescribing guidelines. It would also be free to anyone. Next, the bill will go to the president's desk for his signature.
Punta Gorda police asking for your help tonight. They want to know who discharged fire extinguishers inside a parking garage. The group caught on camera. You can see them in surveillance video. This happened at the Herald Court parking garage back on September 25th. While you don't see the group with the extinguishers, police are hoping you'll recognize one of them and contact them immediately.
In your first alert traffic tonight, drivers be careful. Sarasota County officials say they are replacing 24 intersection traffic lights. If you see a traffic light that is not operating, proceed with caution. Now, just as a reminder, if there are no signal lights, traffic lights should be treated as a four-way stop.
Florida's 67 supervisors of election are starting to send out vote-by-mail ballots this week. As of today, more than 2.5 million voters in the state had requested those mail ballots. Now, so far, more than 4,200 Floridians have already cast their votes, with just under 5 weeks until Election Day. Leon County Supervisor of Elections says people should take advantage of the options they have to cast their vote.
It's a very long ballot. We don't want to see lines like have been seen in the past, so that's why we're encouraging people to vote ahead of time, vote before Election Day, either by mail, as we're speaking today towards, or early voting.
Election officials expect voter turnout for the general election to be significantly higher than the 27.5% statewide percentage during last month's primary. Still to come tonight in your Suncoast News, why the Salvation Army is seeing a major increase in need for assistance from Suncoast service workers.
And the temporary project to fix Lido Beach's shoreline is done. We'll take a look at what it looks like now.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
This weekend on the ABC7 live stream.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
A policeman stopped.
Yeah, it was the lady parked next to me.
I called my wife.
My dad got up in the middle of the night.
My neighbor helped me out.
I called a tow truck.
Anyone can jumpstart your car, but for replacing a dead battery and installing it for free, there's no one like Batteries Plus bulbs.
I'll install it myself.
I'd like you to do it.
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Fallout from red tide continues on the Suncoast. Today we learned just how much people who work in the service industry are suffering right now.
In fact, the Salvation Army says it's seen a spike in those workers who now need help. ABC7's Jackie Kelly talked with Salvation Army workers about the need they're seeing. Jackie?
Scott, Jacqueline, the Salvation Army helps people pay things like their rent, water, and electricity bill when they can't make ends meet. And they say now service workers are struggling. Red tide continues to linger throughout the Suncoast, and while it's an annoyance to some, Sarasota Salvation Army Director of Program Services, Chris Johnson, says it's having a much greater impact.
Many times we just think, oh yeah, it's can't go to the beach today, but we don't think about all of the condos that are on the beach, or the restaurants that are on the beach, or the service industry that's not getting business because no one's staying at the hotels.
The Salvation Army says the life-changing condition for service workers has them asking for assistance. In fact, South County has seen a 40% increase and North County has seen a 33% increase in needs from this time last year.
So we're gathering that data that shows that yes, this is related to red tide. I've lost hours at work. My business had to shut down, or my job had to shut down, and so I'm out of work right now.
The Salvation Army says they're doing all they can do to help and hopefully prevent many from becoming homeless. Now, the Salvation Army says that at this point, they're not receiving any federal funding for this particular need, but it could be beneficial because we don't know when the red tide will end. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jackie Kelly, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We'll take a look at this aerial footage that just came into our newsroom of the conditions on North Palm Beach. Look familiar? Well, 2 days after red tide was confirmed in Palm Beach County, hundreds of dead fish have now washed ashore onto the beaches there. Now, county officials are working on removing that dead fish from those beaches. The FWC says the last time red tide was detected in that part of Florida was in 2007.
Meanwhile, we've got some aerial footage of what Siesta Key looks like. This video is what we believe is Turtle Beach area. It was sent to us from a viewer. You can see a mostly empty beach, some patches of clear water, other areas that look a little darker. Sarasota County has collected more than 250 tons of dead fish since August, and county officials say they are monitoring the beaches and canals every day in case the red tide intensifies again, which we're keeping a watch of. And Bob, you mentioned earlier that the report that came out today shows it a little lower.
Yeah, a little bit lower. It's patchier too, they're saying. We're going to get to that in a minute. The Palm Beach story that you read about the red tide, that's on the East Coast. They don't normally get it as much as we do here on the West Coast, and we've had a lot of east wind, and that's been beneficial. It's going to continue too, it looks like, that easterly wind over the next at least 5 to 7 days, unless we get disrupted by some sort of tropical system that we are monitoring down to the south. Casey Key webcam showing the beach there. The water's not too bad. The beaches look clear of any kind of marine life in terms of dead fish. And the latest report has come out, the midweek report, and some good news on that is that the red tide is lessening across Sarasota, Manatee counties, as well as Charlotte County. It's still there, but it's not as high concentrations. We see one area we're still showing up with a high concentration there just south of Venice, but we're noticing not present too. A lot of that right nearby the high concentration. So it is patchy, and you can take it up north too near Siesta Key. That's not present. Also near Big Pass, which had been in the red, the high concentration just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and low concentrations being reported in the north end of Anna Maria Island. So it may be good news temporarily. We'll see how it plays out with that steady east wind. A lot of times it blows all that red tide out, and the tide tends to change off toward the west in that case. We're going to continue to see that easterly wind. You see these low clouds here in the satellite imagery moving off to the west. There's a little disturbance right here in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's going to give us a little bit better chance for some showers tomorrow afternoon, but not a lot. We don't have a lot going on there right now. Things are fairly quiet around this area of high pressure, which is bringing us that easterly wind flow, and that will stay with us, as I said, through Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. Now, the sea breeze has not had a chance to develop, so we're not getting even a little westerly wind in the afternoon, but once in a while you'll see a pop-up shower or two, and so we'll keep a very small chance for an isolated shower through the next couple of hours as things work out. There's that little area I showed you right there, a little piece of moisture. Right now we're getting some of that dry air in place, but a little bit of that will work its way over in our region tomorrow afternoon and evening. So tonight, a brief shower, not out of the question, but most areas staying dry. Clear overnight. Start things off tomorrow. Sunshine and temperatures pretty comfortable, low to mid 70s, and then a chance for showers coming into play just after 3 o'clock. And with no sea breeze, we don't expect a widespread heavy rainfall event for a long period of time. What you will see, though, is a possibility of light to moderate precipitation for a short period, pushing off toward the west. Similar on Friday, but not as many. Just 1 or 2 lone showers are in the forecast, so good news for football Friday night. The news down south is that this system is poorly organized. It's not even a low pressure yet. It's a broad area of low pressure. And it looks like it's going to be moving off to the northwest in the next 5 days. Now, the National Hurricane Center, 30% chance of development, no chance over the next 2 days. And that's simply because of these strong upper level winds. You see the clouds moving in that direction. And then the low clouds are actually kind of moving in a counterclockwise direction. So it's a broad area of low pressure right here. It's soon, though, to move off to the north where conditions will become a little bit more favorable, say on Saturday and Sunday. And we'll have a better handle as to whether that's going to develop and where it may be heading by the latter half of the weekend. Well, we know this has been developed. This has been developed for over a week now, and it continues to spin out there in the Atlantic. This is, again, Leslie, which is now moving back northward. It is the 6th hurricane of the season, and as far as the forecast path and track goes, it takes it off to the north and then eventually to the east, almost back to where it started about 10 days ago. The next named storm, by the way, is Michael, followed by Nadine, and then Oscar. Temperature 86 degrees in Sarasota right now, and as far as our forecast goes, our high today, by the way, was 90, which was above average, and current temperatures into the mid 80s. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be a bit brisk, northeast at 15 knots, and then the seas running 2 feet, a light to moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then is calling for a chance for showers tomorrow afternoon and evening at 40%, drops to 20 on Friday, stays there Saturday. Weekend looking pretty good, just a few late day showers on Sunday, and then we'll be kind of keeping an eye on the tropics next week. A chance for showers Monday through Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Just days after Hurricane Florence made landfall, a business in Venice gathered and delivered emergency supplies to FEMA in North Carolina. PGT Innovations, a window and door supplier based in North Venice, pulled together more than 600 tarps, over 1,700 batteries, and more than 38,000 bottles of water, generators, oil, flashlights, and much more. 14 team members then took those donated supplies to the Carolinas. The company also reached out to its dealer partners in those affected areas and showed them how they could request post-storm assistance if needed.
An update now on a beach renourishment project on the north end of Longboat Key. The project is now complete and the North Shore Road public beach access is back open. These are before and after photos. The before photo taking August 29th. The after photo captured just about a month later in September. A lot more sand there. 20,000 cubic yards of sand used to replenish that area of Longboat Key.
Take a look at this. It's a canal on Lido Key covered in algae and debris. A viewer sent us footage from his backyard and says the canal is behind dozens of homes. We have crews there now interviewing neighbors about how long it's been like this. Coming up tonight at 11, we'll hear from scientists at Mote Marine who will be able to further explain what that cause could be.
Well, if you ever wanted a city building or park named after you, Now's your chance. Under a new ordinance in Venice, the City Council has now the authority to sell the naming rights to its parks and buildings. This branding comes as a way for the city to make some extra cash. For each naming or renaming, a public hearing will be held, and a background check is also required.
The Players Center for Performing Arts will be moving soon now that it has been sold its theater in Sarasota. An anonymous buyer bought that aging theater on North Tamiami Trail for almost $10 million. As a part of the purchase agreement, the Players will be able to lease out the current location for $1 a year while they build their new complex in Lakewood Ranch. That project is expected to cost about $30 million.
Well, Sarasota Police host a get-together to meet community members. We'll show you that coming up next.
The clock is ticking. Tonight, as supporters push for a vote, new details about who the FBI is talking to. The nominee standing firm for now, but is his confirmation in question? World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
The Players Center presents the wild Broadway season opener, Annie, Get Your Gun. There's no business like show business. This slice of magical American musical theater will thrill you with the classic tunes of Irving Berlin. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Annie, Get Your Gun, September 18th through October 7th. Let's go on with the show.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Strong storm, the trees are down and the lights are out.
No air conditioning, no refrigerator.
I get how strong the storm was, but I need my power back.
We get it. We don't just work for FPL, we're customers too.
After a storm hits, restoring power safely and as quickly as possible is our #1 priority. That's why we never stop preparing. We have the best resources in place so we can be ready to respond in good weather and bad.
Storm season is here. We're ready. Are you?
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Well, Well, dozens of Sarasota residents turning out this morning to a downtown coffee shop for the opportunity to talk to local police. Coffee with a Cop held at Pastry Yard on Main Street, where officers answered questions and concerns from members of the community. The turnout was large enough to spill out onto the sidewalk. The police chief says it's a great opportunity for citizens and officers. Chief says the #1 issue people want to talk about is the homeless crisis in Sarasota.
Great initiative, always gives people in the community a great opportunity to get to know their local law enforcement and maybe, like we said, ask any questions they may have.
Yeah, Sarasota Police do it. They do it in Bradenton, Northport. So yeah, I think it's a neat way to.
Yeah, nice meet and greet there.
Of course, you can bring the kids too.
Yeah, but typically you see them driving by in the car and you don't have that opportunity to talk to them. So
they're real and everyone's real. Yeah. That's right. Nice community event there. We are looking at a nice night tonight for outdoor activities. If you're going to check the sunset out, should be a nice one. Not a big problem there, and things are looking better on the red tide front too with that east wind.
Glad to hear. Thanks so much for joining us. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs right at home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call right at home. Get the right care right at home.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut! It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View, live at 9 on ABC7.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Joey Panic on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the morning, watch Suncoast View, live at 9. Weekdays on ABC7. Introducing the ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician.
California classes experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. first time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.